The first poem is the poem that appears in the issue, Blue Mountain. This poem was inspired by a comment my young son made years ago when he went out west to see the Grand Canyon. And from far away, of course, the mountains were this lovely, majestic, magical blue, and up close he said, but they're just rocks. So that line stuck with me for a long time and finally inspired this poem. So mountains were disappointment, and not at all what you imagined. I'm sorry they were not the blue they seemed from far away during the long ride through Utah toward the Wasatch Range of the Rockies and Mount Olympus, and all that time you had to anticipate something mythic, the Macedonians appeasing their deities, killing cattle and goats at the feet of Apollo, or the Arapaho with bow and arrow, hunting bison and elk in the foothills. Not the temple and saints of Salt Lake City with its marshlands, mudflats, and Mormons. Perhaps we kept the mountains distant for too long, a blue-white blur of air and ice caps, letting you believe in clouds as heavenly gates and not just clouds, as if cirrus and cumulus were not miracle enough, letting you believe in mountains made of six-winged seraphim crying, holy, 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 instead of telling you the whole world is made of faults, the slow rending and closing of earth over time, not by divine genesis, but the brown lip of wounds healing, instead of telling you there is more wonder in the guts of a thing, the magma below, the veins of ice melt, schists with guarded hearts. The second poem was written sometime after the death of a friend who, she just suddenly and inexplicably died after reading a poem in a workshop I was in. It was like 1 minute she's there, and boom, she's gone. It was bizarre. Just saw her extinguished like a light. This is Death and the Volunteer from the Audience. It's written in heroic couplets, by the way. A form was working on it often. So. Don't you think a witness deserves to know where the soul, like a disappearing rabbit, goes? If the woman sawed in half eludes her death, how long the man in the tank can hold his breath, and what comes next when he runs out of air? It would seem a hoax, a scam, at the least unfair to have it all reduced to this tableau, a body with one luminous breast exposed, the bra splayed open like wings in a case, no lady smiling toward us as she levitates, but a slack-mouthed face rolling on a gurney, no goodbyes, an empty suitcase on a journey. No dove freed from the illusionist bag of tricks, just the posturing of rookie cops and paramedics, as false as understudies blowing lines, instead of showing the audience something divine, like the secret gold coin withdrawn from a cloak sleeve, or the man who steps stunned through a smokescreen. And my final poem is A Mother Asked for the Moon. And this is inspired by a walk one time through my neighborhood, the neighborhood next to mine, Stoneleigh, and it was in the dark, and a young mother walking with her child just stopped me on the street and said, do you know where I can find the moon? And I was just so taken aback. It was like, I was embarrassed that I didn't know where the moon was, and I couldn't respond. And why are you asking me this question? So anyway, this sat with me and resulted in this poem. Do you know where I can find the moon? An abrupt question at dusk can take you aback. Ask like, where can one catch a cab? Or has anyone seen my cat? And asked on a suburban street that's lush with maple trees and SUVs, and asked by someone likely active in her PTA, with one tanned hand tugging an overtired child, the other clutching towels from the toddler pool, and a deflated Loch Ness monster float by its vinyl throat. A startling question asked by someone who should know how to answer every why and where a child will ask, or improvise. A mother who should know how to make a moon leap through a hoop of fire, make a universe sit back tamely on its haunches, as if everything there is to be said can be said, surely, without equivocation, evasion, as if usually the sky is not a secret, and the universe not askew. tongue-tied, a world of white lies and wild guesses. But tonight in this dusk of curtained sky, all of us shushed by our darkening houses, there is no answer for the asker, or for me, but a question left, nevertheless, as if there is always an answer, and it is always yes. Thank you.